As you well know, this is one of the last days we have in this year of the Muharram and Safar months that we have been crying for Hussein. How well somebody once put it and said, बच्चे तो अगले बरस हम है और ये गम फिर है जो चल बसे तो ये अपना सलाम आखिर है. That, oh Hussein, if life permits us next year, then again we will be here to cry for you. But if this is our last year and we will not be alive, then accept our last salams. We do not know how much crying for Hussein means to Fatima alayhi salam. It is on occasions like these that we need to realize that somewhere on the men's side Ali is standing and somewhere on the women's side Fatima is standing. And she greets you as you come in and says, I thank you for crying for my Hussein this day. This is that madloom concerning whom the Quran says, وَجَعَلْنَا مِنَ الْمَاءِ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ حَيٍّ. We created everything living from water. Water is that essential thing that there is no living thing that does not have water in it. Our bodies are made of more water. This planet, 70% of it is water. Even when NASA sent their shuttles to Mars, they didn't go looking, is there oxygen there? They went to see, is there water there? So to deny water to a living thing, not to a human being, is against every sort of justice. Hussein was not denied human rights. He was denied the rights of a living thing as well, when water was not given to his family. And that is why we are told that when Hussein was born, and the Prophet said to his daughter, O Fatima, this son of yours will be killed thirsty. She said, Ya Rasulullah, will you be there to cry for Hussein? He said, no, I will not be there. Will Ali be there to cry for my Hussein? No, Ali will not be there, O Fatima. I am the mother, I should be there to cry for Hussein. O Fatima, you will not be there to cry for Hussein. This is the mother saying, Ya Rasulullah, who will cry for my Hussein? The Prophet said to her, O Fatima, Allah will create a community from my ummah. Their men will cry for Hussein. Their women will cry for Zainab. Their children will cry for the children of Hussein. Fatima gave her dua and said, I will be the shafi' for these people on the day of judgment. And in one hadith we are told that on the day of judgment Rasulullah will say to Ali, O Ali, go ask Fatima what has she brought for the shafa'at of her ummah. What has she brought for the shafa'at for the Shia of Hussein? Fatima will say, the two hands of Abbas are sufficient for my ummah this day. The two hands of Abbas will be the shafi' for my people this day. Imam al-Zamana alayhi salam in Ziyarat al-Nahiya, he cries for Hussein and says, Assalamu alayka ya man bakat lahu malaikatu sama. Peace be on you, O you for whom the angels in the heavens cried. Assalamu alayka ya ayyuhal murammalu bid-dima. Peace be on you, O you who rolled in your own blood. فَلَئِنْ أَخَّرْتَنِ الدُّهُورِ. Oh Hussein, if time has separated me from you so that I could not cry for you and I could not help you in Karbala, لَأَنْدُبَنَّكَ صَبَاحًا وَمَسَاحًا. Imam Zamana says, Oh Hussein, I will cry for you every morning and every evening. وَلَأَبْكِيَنَّ لَكَ بَدَلَ الدُّمُوعُ الدِّمَاءِ. Oh Hussein, instead of tears, I will cry blood for you. Oh Hussein, حَسْرَةً عَلَيْكَ حَتَّى أَمُوتِ. Imam Zamana says to his grandfather, Oh Hussein, until my deathbed, on my deathbed when I am dying, I will be crying for you, Oh Hussein. Ajrukum ala Allah. When the Ahlul Bayt had stayed in Karbala for 3 days, when they had cried for Hussein for 3 days, Imam Zainul Abidin told the ladies, we must now return to Medina. This was the wish of Hussein. Oh Sajjad, do not leave Zainab at my grave. She will not be able to live like that. Take her back to Medina. The Qafila of Ahlul Bayt started going back towards Medina. When they came to the outskirts of Medina, the fourth Imam stopped the camp there. He called a man called Bashir bin Jazlam. Oh Bashir, your father was a great poet. Do you not have some poetry? You can go into Medina and let them know we have arrived. Bashir bin Jazlam went into Medina. He began reciting a martiya. Ya Ahl al-Yathrib la muqama lakum. O people of Medina, Medina is not worth living in anymore. The Qafila of Hussein has returned. The women began coming out and the men came out to the outskirts of Medina to meet Zainul Abidin. Bashir bin Jazlam says, when I was returning to Zainul Abidin, there were so many people on the road, I could not even get past them to come towards the Imam. The people began crying. They built a pulpit in the desert there for Imam Sajjad. He ascended the pulpit and addressed the people of Medina. He glorified Allah and praised the Prophet. When he had done that, he said, we thank Allah that He chose us for such afflictions and such sufferings. O people, such deeds have been done to us that we have no words to be described. Hussein's head was put on a spear and taken around in Kufa and Sham. O people of Medina, our women were tied in ropes and taken as prisoners from place to place. Then he said something very strange to the people of Medina. He said, O people of Medina, when Rasulullah left us, he said, قُلْ لَا أَسْأَلُكُمْ عَلَيْهِ أَجْرًا إِلَّا الْمَوَدَّةَ فِي الْقُرْبَى. O people, I do not want anything from you except the love of my family. O people of Medina, if Rasulullah would have said to this ummah, I do not want anything from you except that you should do dhulm on my family, then O people of Medina, there was nothing else they could have done to us that they did not do. O people of Medina, you knew Hussein because he left you and he was amongst you. When he left, he made a wasiyat to me. He said to me, oh my son Ali, when you go back to Medina, tell my Shias Hussein has sent you salams. And Hussein has said that if you ever get some water to drink, then do not forget his thirst. And Hussein has also said to you, O people of Medina, that if you ever see any ghareeb, then remember his ghurbat as well. O people of Medina, Hussein has said to you, if only you had been in Karbala, you would have seen how I was begging for water for my asghar. If only you had been there to see me. In Medina, the brother of Hussein, Muhammad al-Hanafiya, was there. He was very ill. The people could not tell him that Hussein has been killed. They told him Hussein has come back to Medina. Muhammad al-Hanafiya, the stepbrother of Imam Hussein, he is the son of Ali as well. He took a staff with him and started limping out towards the desert. When he saw there were black flags, he said, this does not look well to me. My brother has been killed. The people came to Imam Sajjad and said, oh Sajjad, you must come and give the news to your uncle Muhammad al-Hanafiya. We cannot tell him. Muhammad al-Hanafiya saw Imam Sajjad. He fainted at first and he said, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein. Oh my nephew Sajjad, what happened to my brother Hussein? These are the words of Imam Zainul Abidin. He said, Ya Amma, ataytuka yatiman. I have come back to you, yatim. Laysa ma'i illa nisa. There is no one left with me now except women. Ya Amma, لو كنت تنظر إلى أخيك كيف يستغيث فلا يغاث. If only you had been in Karbala and seen how your brother was calling for help, but there was no one to help him. Kulthum began reciting a martiya. Madinatu jaddina, la taqbalina. Medina of Rasulullah, do not accept us this day. فَبِالْأَحْزَانِ وَالْحَسَرَاتِ جِئْنَا. We have come back to you in grief and in sorrow. أَلَا فَخْبِرْ رَسُولَ اللَّهِ عَنَّا. Someone go and tell Rasulullah about us. بِأَنَّا قَدْ فُجِئْنَا فِي أَبِينَا. That we have lost our father in our return. خَرَجْنَا مِنْكِ بِالْأَهْلِينَ جَمْعًا. O Medina, we left you with all our men and all our families. رَجَعْنَا لَا رِجَالًا وَلَا بَنِينَا. We have come back to you, O Medina. There are no children with us. There are no men with us anymore. somebody said, let someone go and inform Fatima Sughra, the daughter of Hussein, that the Kafila has come back. ये कहते हुए लोग चले जाते थे घर से, कह दे कोई सुगरा से हुसैन आए सफर से, जंजीर दरे फातिमा सुगरा को हिलाकर, एक बच्ची ने जल्दी से ये आवाज दी आकर, बीबी तेरा घर आया अब शुक्र खुदा कर. Sughra thought her father has come back. She went to Salma, the wife of the Prophet, the grandmother of Hussein, her great-grandmother. Oh, Bibi, Sakina has come back. I must go and greet her. My Asghar has come back. I must go and get him. Sakina se मैं मिलके अभी आती हूँ बीबी. मैं गोद में असगर को अभी लाती हूँ बीबी. As Sughra came out and Salma came out holding the staff, Imam began coming towards Medina. पंजा अलम सब्ज का फिर दूर से चमका, एक नाके पे आ पहुंचा निशा शाहे उमम का, एक बच्ची और एक बच्चा असा थामे अलम का, मुंह पीट के दोनों ये बयां करते थे गम खार. हाय हाय यजीद तू अहमद मुख्तार को मारा, उम्मत के अलमदार के सरदार को मारा. As the alam of the Imam came in, the family of the Prophet came to realize what had happened. They began crying, "Oh Yazid, you have killed the Prophet himself." Sar peette sajjad bazere alam aaye, कहते थे ना अकबर न इमामे उमम आए, 18 बनी फातिमा को खो के हम आए. O people of Medina, we have lost all the Hashimites amongst us. They started heading towards the Roza of Rasulullah first. The fourth Imam went to the Roza of the Prophet and began crying there. These are now the words of Mir Anis. हुआ जो रोजे में दाखिल वो काफिला नागाह, गिरे मज़ारे मुबारक पे आबिदे जीजा, उठा के हाथ ये फरियाद की बना लए आ, तबाही आ गई हम बेकसों पे या जद्दा. The fourth Imam began crying to the Prophet, Ya Rasulullah, we were destroyed. बड़ा सितम किया उम्मत ने या रसूल ज़मान, किया हुजूर के प्यारों को ज़िबह तशना दान. या रसूलल्लाह, they killed your Hussein thirsty. रहा सीना पर सरे पाक और जमी पे बदन, लुटे हम ऐसे के बाबा को न दे सके कफन. Ya Rasulullah, they destroyed us in such a manner I could not even give kafan to my father. नदी को थी हमें राहत न चैन रातों को, जकरा दिया रसन से हमारे हाथों को. Zainab alayhi salam came to the grave of the Prophet. Ya Jadda, inni na'iyatun ilayka akhil Hussein. Ya Jadda, I have come to you to give you news of your son, your grandson Hussein. गई लहद पे फिर इस तरह ज़ैनब महजून के एक हाथ में शेख का अमामा पुरखून और एक हाथ में हजरत का जामे गुलगू. यजीद ने हमें लूटा दुहाई है नाना. She brought the blood-stained shirt of Hussein and kept it on the grave of the Prophet. My heart tells me a voice came from the grave saying, Zainab, move the shirt of Hussein. I cannot bear this. I would say, Ya Rasulallah, Shabash to Zainab. She has been carrying this with her from Sham to Karbala, Karbala to Medina. हुसैन भाई को हम करबला में छोड़ आए, अली के लाल को दश्ते बला में छोड़ आए, यतीम फातिमा को नई नवा में छोड़ आए, तुम्हारे चांद को खाके शिफा में छोड़ आए. ये बादे कत्ल अजब तफरीका पड़ा नाना, गिरा बदन कहीं और सर गिरा कहीं नाना. Ya Rasulullah, we left your Hussein on Nainawa. When Zainab had cried for Hussein at the grave of the Prophet, then she began telling the Prophet about her own musibah. हुई हुसैन के मरने से दर बदर ज़ैनब, गई यजीद के मजलिस में नंगे सर ज़ैनब, कई महीने रही कैद नौहगर ज़ैनब. ये सख्त हाल थी के जीती फिरी इधर ज़ैनब, वरम है शानों पे दुखते इस्तिखानाना, ये मेरे बाजू पे रस्सी के निशानाना. Ya Rasulullah, Zainab was dragged from place to place. She had to go to the bazaar of Yazid. Ya Rasulullah, my bones are still hurting the way they tied us with ropes. When Zainab had finished crying at the grave of Rasulullah, then she went to the grave of her mother. And you know, when a person sees their mother after a long time, all that is in the heart begins to come out. And all that is within the person begins to come out. It is different when one meets one's father, but when one meets one's mother, it is a different picture altogether. We are told when Zainab went to the grave of her mother, first she threw herself on the grave and fainted. When she regained consciousness, she cried to her mother. It was as if Zainab could hear a voice coming from the grave of her mother saying, "Aawaze batul aayi ke taarikh jahan hai. Zainab, tera Yusuf, mera Shabbir kahan hai? Zainab, where is your Akbar and where is my Shabbir? Zainab, mere bachon ko kahan chor ke aayi? Zainab, mere pardesi ko Yasrab mein na laayi? Zainab, you have not brought my Hussein back. Aur Zainab, mere mazloom se ki tune judai. Zainab, tu luta aayi garibon ki kamai. Zainab, you have lost everything in Karbala. Nikli thi to sab kumme ko aulad ko lekar. Aayi hai fakat abide nashad ko lekar." Zainab began crying on the grave of her mother. We are told she said to her mother, "Ya Amma, lakad darabuna bis-sibat hatta adkhanuna bil-jirah." Yeah, oh my dear mother, they whipped us like slaves until there were marks and wounds left on our body. Oh my dear mother, I have brought you the shirt of Hussein from Karbala. पूछेंगे जो सब लोग कि ये बाजू पे हुआ क्या, किस किस को निशान रस्सी की दिखलाएगी Zainab. Al-Baneen, the mother of Abbas, came to console Zainab. She said to her, "Oh Zainab, why have you become so old in such a short time? Oh Zainab, when you left Medina, your back was not bent like this. Oh Zainab, when you left Medina, your hair was not white like this." Zainab says to Al-Baneen, "Ya Amma, why would my hair not become white when I was paraded bareheaded in public in Kufa and in Sham? One whose rida has been taken, why will they not grow old?" Al-Baneen recoiled in shock. "Oh Zainab, was Abbas not there to help you?" "No, Amma, Abbas was there. Abbas went to get water for Sakina. He never came back. They cut his hands and left him to bleed and die on the banks of Furat." Al-Baneen cried for the rest of her life for Abbas. She used to say to the people of Medina, "Ya Ahl al-Madina, do not call me Al-Baneen. Where are those sons for whom I am Al-Baneen?" She would go to the cemetery of Baqi. She would draw a mark on the sand. "This is the grave of my Abbas." Then she would wipe the mark off and say, "No, I will not cry for Abbas. I will cry for Hussein." This is the loyalty and wafa of Al-Baneen that Abbas inherited. But after all, Al-Baneen is a mother as well. Once in a while she would turn towards Karbala and say, "Oh Abbas, when people said to me you were killed and your hands were cut, I cannot believe anyone could have done this to you, oh Abbas. But when people tell me the veil of Zainab was taken away, then I know indeed, oh Abbas, you must have been killed on the banks of Furat." ألا لعنة الله على القوم الظالمين وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون. ماتم يا حسين.